Hello everyone, I'm Rachel Tessman from stampyourartout.com and I'm here with another live paper crafting class. I'm so excited. It is Wednesday at 11 a.m. Central Time on March 23rd. So happy March to all of you. Spring is in the air. The snow is thawing around here and I'm starting to smell the earth again, and it's so nice because we have winter for like 6 months here in Minnesota. So anyways, welcome everybody. We're gonna do a fun fold card. We do a lot of fun fold cards, but this one is one that I just could not resist, like most of them. A big welcome to all of you. A big welcome to those of you who are new to my channel. I hope that you join us again because I just have fun sharing. And this fun fold card is called a Peekaboo slider card. It's one that I had seen years and years and years ago from my friend Karen Acevedo. She's a fellow demonstrator, sister demonstrator of mine. We both have the same upline. And we were at a team event years ago, and I remember her showing this and me just going, wow, that is super cool. And then I never made one. I don't know why. And then I started seeing these Peekaboo slider cards around again. In fact, I got a couple of them recently, and I'll show you those samples later on. But I thought, I have to make one of these. They are so easy, but yet so impressive. And you think that they're hard when you see them, but when you take them apart and realize how they go together, it's really incredibly easy. So this was a question that came to me. Oops, hang on. There I am. This was a question that came to me last week, and I did not highlight or screenshot comments, but yes, I do. I take and I tape my grid paper down to my surface of my table. I can't remember who asked it now. I even screenshotted her comment so that when I'm working with my my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine and I'm cranking things out, my actual grid paper does not move on me. So I thought I'd share that right now while I'm getting my table ready. Okay, so let me introduce to you two people. Trisha Josephs is here with us on YouTube. She is the moderator that answers your questions here on YouTube. I can't go back to YouTube comments and respond to the live comments. I can only respond to the after live comments. We have no way of going in afterwards. So she's very important to me, and she's there to take care of you. So thank you, Trisha. Trisha, by the way, will be gone next week. So make sure that you say, you know, best wishes with your appointment. She has a dentist appointment or something like that. I don't know. Things that you have to work around, right? But thank you, Trisha, for being with us all these weeks. And we're going to have Kayla, who some of you know. She has stepped in for Trisha in the past. So Kayla's going to join us next week. I don't even know if I told Trisha that. Yes, I found someone. And then let's welcome Lisa Marshall. Lisa Marshall is, say your name 10 times fast, Lisa. Oh my gosh. She is on Facebook, and she is moderating comments there just to make sure that if there are any questions that they get answered right away too. Because I don't always get to those comments in a timely manner, but I can get back to you though. So if you have something pressing, you can always tag me in a post too. But okay, so what are we going to show? I'm going to show you the card. I'm actually going to show it to you before we put it together. You may have seen it because it was obviously photographed in the, here, I'm going to zoom in a bit here. It was photographed for the preview for the actual live. So this is called a Peekaboo slider card. So here we have our front of our card, and when you open it up, the little opening there slides, a little scene slides into place. You can see the mechanism of how it works. It's really cool. So I'm going to show you how to put one of these together. Okay, that's the card. And yes, it's an egg. Isn't that fun? It's a little egg with a yolk. Okay, so, oops, where am I? There I am. What else do I want to take care of before we start? Oh, I want to bring to you the measurements and supply list. Let's do that next. So let's bring you over to the computer. And this is a PDF document that you'll be able to download from my blog post. So when I'm doing these videos, I do them before my blog post goes live. You can find in the description of the video the link to the blog post. It will go live about an hour and 15 minutes after the live begins. So at 12:15 p.m. Central Time. And you'll be able to see the video, which will be recorded by that time, right? You'll be able to see photos of the card, the project, and measurements, supplies, all of that stuff. Plus, you'll be able to download this little sheet here. So it's a one-page sheet that has the measurements and supplies and photos shown on it with the date and the name of the project. That way, hopefully it will trigger your memory. You'll be able to go back to that blog post if you need to. You can always do a search for Peekaboo or something like that in my blog, and it should take you to this particular date on my blog. So let's see here. I'm going to leave this up for me, but you can see that we have some interesting measurements for our base pieces in Basic White and Daffodil Delight. And then we have some fun little scraps that we're going to die cut. We're going to be using Waves of the Ocean designer paper. Kind of cool, right? When I saw the yellow design, I thought of scrambled eggs, you guys. Seriously. There are some fun designs in that paper. I'll show you that soon. And yeah, scrambled eggs. That's what I thought of. What else do I want to point out? Oh, the What's Cookin' bundle. It is on special this month. It's one of the 20% off bundles. And I have been dying to use it. I bought it because I've seen so many great, cute cards with it that I would love to make and give to others that I thought, oh my gosh, I need it. And then it wasn't until this sale that I said, Rachel, start using that bundle. It is stinking cute. So that's why I am pulling it in for today. All right, so I'm going to I'm going to keep that there. And I think I'm going to bring you to the desktop next and show you some of the Waves of the Ocean products. So we're going to feature, oh, and now I'm way too zoomed in. There we are. Okay, so these are Waves of the Ocean products that are new, and they're available for a limited time until the end of, let's see, I think it's May 2nd, I want to say they disappear, or until they sell out. They're being featured with their bundle, so there's a stamp set and die set that goes with them, and then these are the consumables that are only available for a limited time. So we've got the Waves of the Ocean, they're called Rhinestone Waves Basic Jewels, and they're in blues and greens. And then we have the beautiful papers and foils, and the foils come in kind of a aqua color, and then a deeper blue, and then a silver. And the colors are Night of Navy and Coastal Cabana, if you're curious. As I'm talking about these products, by the way, I still have 3 winners, 3 out of the 4, who have not gotten back to me to claim their prizes. The video is freezing. Uh-oh. You might have to go back out and come back in. This is on Facebook, by the way, you guys. I'm hearing those comments on Facebook. Try going back out and coming back in if you can hear me. Okay, so we've got these beautiful blue sides to the papers. And then if you flip it over, because I'm not going to be able to stop. Hopefully YouTube isn't freezing also. And then we've got these sides, and sorry, I only have like a portion, a half sheet of this one left. And then we have these sides, which have the coral color, the more aqua blue, pool party, which is what it is, and the yellows in there. So these 3 sheets are the ones that I would say make the card that we're going to do the best. Colors, by the way, if you're wondering, are Calypso Coral, Coastal Cabana, Daffodil Delight, Granny Apple Green, Night of Navy, Pacific Point, and Petal Pink. So I'm going to just pull these papers in along with these. I'm hoping that it's not freezing anymore, you guys. Hopefully it was just a temporary thing, because I'm seeing some comments continue to roll in from Facebook. So hopefully, crossing my fingers. Okay, so let's start cutting some of these. The first white layer the one that's going to go on top is going to be cut at 4 1/4 by 8 1/4. And then the second one is 4 1/4 by 8 1/2. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to, because we can do 4 1/4 this way, or we could do it this way. And because 8 1/2 is this direction, I'm going to use my paper, I think the wisest, by cutting it this way instead. So we're going to cut it 4 1/4 inches. We're bringing it into the trimmer at this mark here, and I'm going to zoom in again because we're kind of far away here. So we're going to bring it to this mark here, and we're going to cut, and this is just the basic white regular cardstock. It is not the thick. The key for a card like this is that you want to have as few layers as possible. And so if you have thick layers, that's not good. If you have lots of layers, that's not good. Ask me how I know. I found out the hard way. So Teresa Glow, who is my assistant and demonstrator in my group, she comes every week. And I was working on this card on Monday to finalize it. And I was having a heck of a time because I was going too fast. So if you think I'm going too slow today, I'm sorry, but I want to make sure I don't make the same mistakes. And I'm going to teach them to you as we go. So we're going to cut again at 4 1/4. And this now becomes scrap. You can use that for stamping your spoon and your rubber spatula or rubber scraper. Okay, now this one is 4 1/4 by 8 1/2 already. So we're going to just score that one down the middle at 4 1/4. So it makes this perfect square layer like this, okay? Then we've got the 4 1/4 by 8 1/2 piece that we have to trim just a little bit more off of. We're going to trim it to 8 and an eighth. So instead of 8 1/2, we're going to go to 8 and an eighth inches, okay? So we're cutting off 3/8 of an inch. I want to make sure I'm doing that right. Yes, I'm doing that right. Okay, so now this gets scored, and this gets scored at the regular card front size. So 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 is what we want in here. This is going to be our front layer. So we're going to score it at 5 1/2 inches. Okay, so that piece is going to go on the front like this. This becomes the peekaboo part, the part that peeks in. Okay, so we have it like this, and then it opens, and this part moves and peeks in. Next, we need, for our card base still, these are all base pieces, we need a piece of Daffodil Delight. So we're going to go ahead and cut that at 4 1/4 inches. And this one's going to be 4 1/4 by 5 7/8. So almost 6 inches. It's 2 little ticks or an 1/8 inch before the 6 inch mark. So we're going to cut there. And then we're going to score that one. And now I have to go back to my other paper because I didn't write that score line down. Hold on. I'm peeking over here. That one's going to get scored. Okay, I have to look at the finished card because I didn't write my score mark down. I didn't write my score mark down, you guys. I'm sorry. We need to score that one at 5 1/2. That makes sense. Sorry about that, you guys. That will be a mistake that you'll need to mark on your PDF, okay? So score it. So you have 2 pieces, this one and this one, that have to be scored at 5 1/2 inches, okay? So we have a 5 1/2 by 4 1/4 and a 5 1/2 by 4 1/4. This one has just a little extension. This one has a larger extension, okay? Sorry about that. I knew I would make some mistake. Have to do that, right? Okay, we're going to move this out of the way. I'm going to zoom this out a bit. It's so fun to see everyone's names. I see a lot of names that are so familiar to me, scrolling in from the Facebook feed, and then you guys being able to broadcast on 2 different areas is so great, because I had people who had trouble finding me on YouTube that were on Facebook, and vice versa. Basically, you have a preference, right? And now we can take care of both of those preferences. So I'm very happy that we can do that. Let's grab our bone folder tool, and go ahead and do some extra crisp lines here with our creases. Make sure that they're as tight as we can get them. Okay, the next step after we've cut these layers is we need to cut our designer paper. And our designer paper, you have to get creative with, because you don't want to have your egg, let's go with the egg first. You don't want to have your egg looking like it's got some kind of, I don't know, weird color in it, right? So we could cut our 8x4" piece here. We could cut it here with just a little bit down there. It's up to you where you want to cut it, but you want it to look like scrambled eggs. Okay? So I'm going to take this section here, which I think is the freest of the pink color, the petal pink, although I believe my sample has some petal pink in it. So it's not gross or anything. It's just, I want it to look as close to egg as possible. So we have our 4x8. So you start with that, and then what you do is you cut it in half. And the reason why is so you can connect the flow of the design. So this piece now gets cut in half at 4 inches. So we have two 4x4 pieces. Started out as 4x8, and now they're both 4x4. Then we can pick from either of these for the front of our card. And this I wanted to look more just like, I don't know, washed out like water or something, you know, something edible. So this one was appealing to me because the blue design, but the green in here kind of grossed me out with food. So you want to be careful if you have the green flowing in your water. So I'm going to go ahead and cut, I think, from this section, although in my finished card, you'll see that I do have a little green in there. All right, so this one is going to be 4 by 5 1/4, and that is for the front of our card. All righty, here we go. We're going to move that out of the way. I don't think we need to do any more measuring and cutting. And I did that all in front of you because I wanted to show you that process today. So let's take and add our designer paper next. Teresa's crossing her fingers if she's watching. She's like, that would be a really gross side to put with food. That is not something edible, right? You want to be cognizant of that. Okay, we're going to go ahead and add our seal all the way around. Oops, getting it caught up somehow. I might have to grab a different one. And then we're going to just go through the middle. So we're really making sure that we've got our paper on here nice and tight onto every surface. We're going to add that here. And then we're going to add these two pieces on the inside, and already I messed up the flow, didn't I? Oh my gosh, I thought I had saved it correctly. So how does the puzzle piece go, Rachel? Does it go this way? Oh yeah. Yeah. Was that it? No. We'll get it. We'll get it. There it is. All right. These are going to go on the inside of the white piece that looks like a rectangle folded in half. Okay. So we want this design here. And it's important that you do these steps in this order. Definitely important. Okay. This design here. Okay, now die cutting is next. And this is where, and I'm going to move this aside because we're not going to die cut this piece, but we have to die cut these, and we have to die cut our egg shape. Okay, so we're going to do a lot of cutting next. We're going to be using our circle dies and our diorama dies. These are both called layering. So layering circles, layering dioramas. By the way, this is the What's Cooking bundle. Super cute, right? My head's in the way, sorry. Stamps and images that can be die cut with the framelit pieces. And then we have a couple more detailed ones like the spatula, the the whisk and the cutting board. Some sentiments in there. Fun stuff. So we're going to be using the third from the smallest circle die. So 1, 2, 3. It's this one here. Okay, you can see it's third from the smallest if you were to go back and forth. Smallest, second to smallest, third to smallest. It's this one here. And then we're also going to be using, on the layering diorama dies, we're going to be using the middle one. So fourth from the smallest or fourth from the largest, the middle one. And those are going to create some eggs. So let's bring in our machine. What? Sorry, my name got highlighted by Susan. Where do you take someone injured in a peekaboo accident? I see you. Ah, that's funny. Thank you, Susan. Oh my gosh. Yeah, if you tag me, I might notice your comment during the live. Normally I don't catch those things. Susan, that was funny. Okay, so we need to put our sandwich together here. So we're going to do mat 1, then platform 1, die adapter 2, cutting mat 3, okay? And then we've got our cutting mat 3 that's going to go on top. We need to die cut our eggs, so we're just going to do the whole thing all at once. And we're going to go like this. Okay, so that's getting die cut first. If you don't want it to move on you, you bring in some sticky notes or post-it notes. Ah, my last white one. So we're just going to push that down. We can stick another one over here just to be safe. Don't want it to shift. And we're going to die cut that. Cranking the handle. Love that sound. It used to scare me, but now I love it. Oh, static, new plate. It's a staticky plate. There we go. Let's pull these off carefully. Sometimes sticky notes can tear your paper if you're not careful. You know, the adhesive is not supposed to tear anything when it's pulled off, but when you're really putting a lot of pressure on through a die cutting machine, that can happen. So there's our egg white, and then we need to die cut through these papers. So this one is going to get cut next, and we're just going to lay this on here. We're going to bring in a pencil. This is how I want it to look. I want it to lay right about there. You need to peek with this piece to make sure that the line of this paper, where the edge is, does not interfere with the circle, okay? There's a large enough gap between that line and this circle, which is going to get die cut, so we're safe, we're good to go. I'm going to draw, I'm sorry, I would trace this on a flatter surface, but I'm trying to show you above my machine. So I've traced the circle, and now I can take and bring these mats through again, the sandwich through. I'm going to lay this circle die within that space, put the sticky notes back on, and we're going to die cut again. Line it all up so it doesn't get caught on the sides. All right. Now, some of you who have done Peekaboo, again, sorry, I just pulled out a new mat, so it's very, very staticky. Some of you that have done Peekaboo sliders before are probably thinking, Rachel, just die cut it all at once. I tried that. It doesn't work with this one. I don't know if it's my circle dies, because I had a circle punch, which we don't carry right now. I tried with circle punches, and it worked a little bit better to go through more layers. My dies might just have a thinner cuttings. I don't know, but I was not able to cut through multiple layers, only a couple at a time. So, and you know what? You're going to get a cleaner look this way too. You're going to have less frustration if you do it the way that I'm doing it. So, so hopefully you won't go through the mess that I had. Okay, now this is going to go on the inside, and I'm looking at the edges. You can see how sometimes you have an overlap where they're not completely flush. So this is going to be the front. because it sticks out further. So that's going to be connected right underneath here like that. All right. So next what I want to do is I want to trace. I'm going to line this up, edge to edge to edge. See how that's looking? Okay. All the edges are lined up, and I'm going to trace again my circle. Use a sharp pencil. Okay, so I've got that cut. We're going to bring this back through. We're going to line this up, making sure, sorry if my head's in the way, and put the sticky notes back on and crank it through. So how many circles have we die cut so far? One on the egg, one on the front layer. This is our third time. I know it seems like tedious steps here, but it's important. Now we're going to peel these off. They're starting to separate. You can see that, but you can keep using them because they're on the top part. Okay, that can get punched out or separated. Now we need one more. We're going to fold this over and we're going to trace. So again, if your dies or your circles can punch through multiple layers, you don't need to do all of the steps that I'm doing. You might be able to do it in 2 steps instead of 4. But not in my case. All right. Cranking that through. And we're going to need this one more time because you know what, might as well do that part next. Get all the die cutting out of the way. So we're going to pull this off of here, and now we've got all of our circles ready. So you can see as we line everything up that we are going to be good to go with that part of the card. Okay, you can't see that paper coming through. This is going to be attached to the back like that. So we're almost ready to start assembling, but now we need to stamp and die cut some of these fun little goodies here. By the way, this card is made to the 5.25 by 4.25 inch size, which fits into our medium basic white envelopes. All right, I need some clear blocks. I forgot to bring those in. So I'm going to move those dies out of the way too so we don't lose them. And let's open up our stamp set. Oh, look, I already have a couple things. I don't think these are the ones that I'm going to use though, because we're going to use different colors. But aren't they cute when they're stamped and die cut? They're so adorable. So let's pull these out. And we're going to need the spoon, the rubber scraper, the whisk, the spatula, and I'm also using the salt and pepper shaker. So the spoon, the salt and pepper shaker, getting my fingernails underneath them by because the labels they're very sticky and they can separate from the foam. So if you're going to put labels on your stamps, just know that you got to kind of dig underneath with your fingernail. Or you could use the take your pick tool if you're somebody that does not have, the ability to grab under there. Your fingernails are too short or something. You could do it that way. So we need all of these images, lots of images, and we need the words. Okay. Alrighty, let's move these off to the side. Let's bring in our ink. We're using early espresso ink, and now we've got our fun little scraps in here. We can use the scrap that was left over from the diorama. We can use the scrap that was left over from when we cut the card base. Either way, I think I'll use the card base one because it's a little smaller. And we're going to stamp our spoon. Boy, my early espresso ink pad's kind of filthy looking on the sides. Oh my goodness, I may have to do some cleaning. Okay, so we're going to ink that up. And for inking up our ink pads, when you're using our ink pads on stamps, You do not have to press hard. The Stampin' Up! Ink pads are firm foam, so they've got this, they've got a real cushiony, they're not firm foam, sorry, they're foam, and they're very cushiony, so they can squish down super far. They're not like the cloth covered ones from the past. So I always ink lightly and ink a few times to make sure it looks good, and then I press firmly to get my design. So we need the spoon, we need the rubber scraper, and I'm separating them out enough where hopefully I can get the dies right next to each other on here. And we need the salt and pepper shaker. Aren't they so cute? Oh my gosh. Just fun, fun, fun. All right, let's line these up on our surface here with our Post-it notes, with our sticky notes. I think I'll get new sticky notes in here. All right, I love it. You guys are having conversations with each other. You know, I love reading your comments when I come back afterwards because it's like you're all getting to know each other. It's so fun. You have empathy for each other when people are going through hard times. You're cheering each other on. You're laughing at each other's jokes. You're connecting if you live near the same area of the world. So fun. So when you line these up, you want to make sure that your image is right within the dies. You don't want to be off on those, right? Because then it looks funny. So die cut as close as you can to get those all. I think we're going to do that run first. Actually, you know what? Let's do this. Let's bring this in. Let's grab our scraps because we also can do some of our scrap pieces with these two. Let's layer this up here and take our brown. We'll do our brown. This is our early espresso color. We need the handles for each of them. So we're going to do a handle and a handle. And I'm not too worried if they move on me, so I'm just going to leave them as is. Put the cutting mat on top. Line it up. Crank it through. How many of you are beginning crafters? Shout out if you are. Hopefully you can create this card as well once you get the products. I try to teach as if everybody is maybe doing this for the first time. So hopefully you can follow along. We can throw that away now. We don't need that scrap. We're done with the early espresso brown scrap. We're done with all of these framelit dies, but we need the other detailed dies a little bit longer. So I'm going to put those three aside, keeping these back in here because we need to do one more run through the machine. And that is with the silver. So the silver comes from that one packet of foil, the Waves foil, but you can also find it in another pack. We have another pack that it comes in with, oops, I want to make sure I'm doing the whole thing. We have another pack that it comes in, and it has some purplish, silvery toned kind of, where's a Post-it note? Colors, but there is one sheet in there that's like silver, okay? All right, one more crank through. You could do this the other way where you're doing the whole thing of brown and then the silver, just the top portion or the metallic metal portion of the tool. So either way works. I only did the handles in the brown. Okay, so there are all of our fun tools. Let's toss this to the back. Yay! We have all of our parts except for our sentiment now. So let us do our sentiment piece. And then we'll have one more sentiment stamp, some words that we'll need to stamp on the inside of the card. I don't know what that is. So these are our two images for words left. We have what's cooking and sending you a dash of kindness and a spoonful of love. So we're going to ink this word stamp up, stamp it down, take our punch, we're going to unlock it, bring it in, line it up. And what I do is I kind of line it up and then I turn it to this direction so I can see that it is looking like it's, you know, the top and the bottom of the words are parallel to the top and the bottom of the punch. It looks centered enough. So that's how I do it with that punch. Next, we'll set that off there because we're going to use that. Next, let's go ahead and start putting some of this together so that we can stamp our last portion and embellish. Oh, you guys, this is such a fun card, and whoever gets it is going to just love it. I know. So let's start putting together the card pieces. How do these go together to make the magic slider thing, the Peekaboo slider? So this is the very back. This is the part that's just going to become kind of like the background, and it does show through in your initial window. So if you look again here, here is my yellow, and it shows through initially in the window because everything here is closed and this is going to peek through. All right, so it's important. It's just something that you can have not line up with the circles as easily. These two need to line up, okay? So we're gonna take and we're gonna sandwich them together again. And we're going to lay them down like this so that they're all sandwiched. I'm checking to make sure all my layers are connected. I've got the two edges right flush next to each other. These edges are flush. I'm not worried about the back. I'm not worried back here about what's going on there. I just want to make sure that this and this from the front section of this piece is all lined up. And then I'm going to hold it here on this side of the circle. I'm going to lift this up and away, and I'm going to come in with either my tape runner adhesive or my liquid glue. And I'm going to run a line of adhesive there. Then I'm going to press it down. I'm going to open up here now, and I'm going to add adhesive here and here. Gosh, I got a lot of dust on my table. And a couple maybe over here, just to make sure it's all adhered. And I'm going to lay it down. All right, so everything's connected now from those two pieces. This is the next connection that we need to do. This little strip is going to connect to here. So I'm going to open up the back here because I don't care about that yet. And I'm going to line up all of these edges like so. So these edges and these edges all are going to be flush again, and that's folded in. You can see how I folded it in, and I'm going to set it down, and I'm going to lift up here and put some adhesive there. And now I'm actually going to use the liquid glue because it's such a narrow little spot there. Now I could probably fit the seal adhesive in there if I wanted to. Get some of that off of there, or it's going to ooze out. But I decided to go with the liquid glue on this part. All right, now I'm just going to hold that because it is liquid glue and I want it to dry. And the next step is to take and just tuck this white piece that was sticking out back in. Now you can smush it all down and you can see how it works. Ta-da! Isn't that fun? Let's open it up all the way. Let's ink up our sending you a dash of kindness and a spoonful of love wording. If you're nervous about stamping directly in this circle, because it is connected to the card, you could take and stamp on a punched out white, because there's plenty of them. After you're done doing all this die cutting, you have plenty of white layer circles here. You could punch on that instead, stick it down in here, and put it on there. But you can also just get to know your stamps and trust in the force. Just kidding. So I've done this card many times, as you know, because I had some issues with it. The thing with cling stamps is you can't see through them, but they are an improvement to when we used to have only wood. So I'm just going right over the top. I hope I don't screw this up. And I'm going to press down and lift up. There we go. It worked. Yay. So again, if you have troubles with that idea, I don't know if I have any. Oh, here's a white circle, so I can kind of show you. So you can take one of your white circles, stamp on that, then you can stick it down in there, and twist it so it's looking like it's sitting upright. Okay, that's ready to go. Yay! Let's do the egg. Let's start decorating. So we're going to put the egg on top. I can use regular seal with this because the sides are wide enough for that tape. So we can just go right over the top here. There's our egg white. Another thought for the yolk portion of the card, and I don't think I saved it, but I did do one where I put the fine tip glue pen inside the yolk portion in here, and I let it dry. But I will tell you, it took a long time, and you want to, it was putsy. So if you want something like a mound that's shiny, that would be one way to do it. Yeah. But instead, we're going to bring in that chalk marker, and we're going to draw our little highlights to make it look that way, which was way less stressful. Let's add our sentiment piece with a couple dimensionals. Take the release paper off. And we're going to add that right about here. I've got it positioned so it's about 3/8 of an inch from the bottom of the designer paper, or 1/2 inch from the bottom of the card. And then we'll use our rubber scraper, and I think I did the whisk tool. Okay, so, oh yeah, I forgot to do this. So these little guys here get snipped straight across at the handle part. Just snip it there, and we just snip it there. And then they get glued down onto the silver foil. And just a little adhesive is all you need. I'm barely pressing the sides of this glue container. Layer that on top. Hold it up, grab the sides. It's a little slippery at first because this foil paper is shiny. It's a coated paper. Oops. Okay, let that dry for a couple seconds. Do the same thing to this one. Oh my gosh, this reminds me of like playing with paper dolls, you guys. Paper dolls or even like Barbie dolls or whatever. I used to play with dolls a lot when I was a kid. I was a girly girl. Okay, we're going to turn these two over, add a little thin line of glue. I think I had too much on that one. Little thin, little dots up here maybe, just to get some adhesive in that spot. Pick these up carefully. I know you're all saying tweezers, grab your tweezers, Rachel. I am not a tweezers person. I'm glad you guys are, but all right, so this piece is going to go kind of like right here, I think. And oh, I think I have it down lower. So it's going to go there, and this one's going to come across it like that. Do you guys, do you all have an adhesive eraser? I don't know where mine is right now. Adhesive erasers are great because if you have any glue that's oozing out, where did my little tool go? Oh, maybe it's in my drawer. Let's check there. It is not. That's okay. Teresa, where'd you put my adhesive eraser? Or where did I put it? I probably put it somewhere. So there's that. Fun, right? I was just trying to get that little smudge off of there, and that would work. You know what I do have? I have this here. Where is it? I have one of these. Oh, no, that didn't do it because it has yellow on it for some reason. Not sure where the yellow came from. Probably from me trying to fix something. I was probably trying. Oh, you know what? I had a smudge on my yellow cardstock the other day. Oh, well, yellow goes with eggs. So there is that. Now we're going to open it up. And we're going to add these pieces in. In fact, I can just show you the finished card at this point. Let's do the, I'll show you how to add, I'll show you where I added those in just a second. But let's go ahead and do the shine. So now these are our chalk markers. They're not super bright like gel pens. They have just the right amount of white to them so that they look great as a shadow or a shine on your eggs here. So I'm just inking up a little part on the left side there, and then I'm going to come down and do just a little bit more down here, following the line of the outline of the circle. And then I'm kind of dabbing it to brighten up little parts. Ta-da! So there's that. And then the rhinestones, you can accent your card with in different spots. I used the light blue through the middle here, and I think I did, how many? I did 3 small ones and then a larger one. So we'll just grab a, oops, I normally use the other end. Let's go like this. So this, we're gonna dot the eye with on the cooking part, and then on the inside, I added a few more. I added 2 small ones here and then a large one there. So this is the outside of the card, and that's the inside, and it's all done. Oh, and you can't see it all because I'm too zoomed in. There we go. How is that? Isn't that fun? The magic slider, or the Peekaboo slider card, that's what it's called. Peekaboo slider. Let's show you a couple other versions of this card. Yeah, it's a chalk marker. A white chalk marker is what it's called. Sorry, I just caught your comment, Judy. Stampin' Chalk marker. Fun. Did you know that it existed? So I received a couple cards. This one I received from Joanne Peterson. It has some bananas in it, and I believe these bananas were from a past paper pumpkin kit. And then on the inside, Peel Better Soon. I think this is when I was having some of my medical testing done, which we still don't have answers to, by the way. So that's why I haven't updated anybody. Still burping all night. Yeah. I heard someone's comment, or I saw someone's comment about she had some kind of Botox injection or something. That was interesting. Let's see if I can find that really quick here. I'm going to pull up these past comments. That comment was from, oh, and Carol mentioned, how do I stick down my grid paper? Yes, Carol, I did. So Carla, Botox in your esophagus. Sounds interesting. So thank you for that. That was a few lives ago. I saved that one because I thought I would bring that up to my doctor. Here's another card. This one was given to me by another demonstrator in my group. Again, I think this was regarding my healing that was going on. So this is from V-Tran. Very cute. They both use the same paper pumpkin kit. And I don't have Karen Aceveto's card with me. But I hope that you enjoyed those cards. And I want to show you, again, this bundle. So the What's Cookin' stamp set and the coordinating dies normally are 10% off when you get them together. They're kind of all over the place, sorry. The dies that coordinate. They're normally 10% off when you purchase them together, but this month they are 20% off, so an extra savings. I also have a couple other ones that I want to show you that are bundled. So the Beauty of Friendship Stamps and dies, they are 20% off this month. Love all of these, which is why I own them. Hydrangea Haven, so that bundle is 20% off this month. Seascape, oh, I've got my pieces in there. I guess I didn't get that all fancied up for you guys to see. And then Art Gallery. So all of these, again, are 20% off. There are more bundles that are 20% off. I am going to now bring you over to my computer because I want to show you the little promotional flyer that you can access and check out. So you can see the Savings Are in Bloom is the promotion going on now through the end of March. See that little mini machine? That is also 20% off. So normally $60 in the US, it's now $48. The Squared Away bundle, and then all of these other bundles shown here are 20% off. Some of the bundles have been rebundled from the past. Ones that, like the Art Gallery, it's no longer 10% off right now. Sorry if I implied that. The Beauty of Friendship also. These were ones that were bundled in the past but have lasted into an extra catalog period. So they're not bundled right now except for this month. And they're 20% off. So they rebundled Art Gallery, Beauty of Friendship, Celebrate Sunflowers, and Garden Wishes so that they could offer them to you again as a bundle and at a greater savings. So check out this flyer. You can access any of my flyers by going to my blog posts. And the most recent ones will give you the most recent promotions. So I then wanted to show you that I've got ideas for all those 4 that I just showed you. This is the Fine Art Floral Stamp Set from the, what was it, Art Gallery stamp set, sorry. And the bundle that I made a project with. Now, if you scroll up, you can see it's also connected to a tutorial bundle of projects. So this whole stamp set die pack, you can get a tutorial bundle called the Fine Art Floral Bundle. And in this post, it's an actual blog hop. So if you scroll all the way down, you'll be able to click on names of other demonstrators in my group and see what they made with that bundle. So you just go to my blog and you click on the search in the search bar. You put in a significant name, like for Seascape. You can just put Seascape in there, and it'll give you some project ideas. So this is a card that I did with Seascape. This is another card I did with Seascape. That one was a live, because you can see that's a video. Hydrangea Haven, Hydrangea Hill, I should say. That's the name of the suite, I believe. They had a suite for it, but beautiful papers. But you can also get lots of other ideas, and it's part of the tutorial group. So we did a tutorial bundle on it, and we did a blog hop on it. Here's another set of cards. Same type of card. It's a pop and flip card done with Beauty of the Earth. So check those out if you're interested in getting more ideas on any of those bundles that I just showed you. Of course, you can always go to Pinterest or Google and do a little search. So we're going to get to prizes. We're going to also talk about Stampin' Up! News. Prizes. So last week we had 2 winners that were picked, and they claimed their prizes right away. Yay! Congrats to those winners. They got a sampler of the outgoing in colors, and that was really fun to prepare and send out to them. So Trisha's winners that she picks for today are going to get a different prize, but I have 2 winners, one from the Afterlive comments on YouTube and one from Facebook comments. So I will show you those names, and those people will receive an in-color sampler if they can reach out to me, get back to me. So contact me. Sorry, I keep forgetting my little overlays here. There is my email address if you need to reach me. You can reach me at my email address there. And so I'm going to pick those winners right now. I'm going to show you who they are. We had our YouTube winner. Let me put that name up. Patricia Toth. She won on YouTube. So Patricia, reach out to me so that you can get your in-color sampler, the outgoing in-colors. And then from Facebook, we had Kathy Ost. So she won for the Facebook Live commenters. And I love what she said. Oh my, they haven't claimed those beautiful prizes. So on that note, let me bring you to my desktop because I still have 3 winners. And this is the last call, you guys. 3 winners that have not claimed their prizes from the Waves of the Ocean products. And you get a lot of stuff. You get a half pack of the Waves of the Ocean paper. You get a half pack of rhinestones. You get a half pack of the Waves foil sheets. And then you get a half a pack of medium basic white envelopes. It's a deal. So Debbie Cia, C-E-A, K-M. That's all I got. Initials K, then there's a space, and then the initial M. You two were drawn as live winners. So if you're live on this Facebook or on this YouTube, Facebook, whatever, right now, will you please reach out to me because I'm putting those prizes back in the bin in just a few days. And then after live winner, Mitzi Chafin Adkinson. I did not hear from you yet either. So all of you are not claiming your prizes. Prizes for today. I'm not sure what I'm going to be offering yet because I'm waiting to see what is going to be retiring. So we have some things that are retiring from the current annual catalog, and those will be announced in about 2 hours. So I'm going to have not only this blog post go live today at, and let's do a little overlay here, at stampyourartout.com. You're going to be able to see this information from the video there. But I'll also blog a second time today, and it will be a short one, but it'll have links to the lists of retiring products, last chance products from the current annual catalog. So you'll want to check that out by visiting my blog post today. Okay, so I'm not sure if these will be included as prize choices or not, but just know that if Trisha picks your name, you're one of the 2 lucky lives today, then you will get a choice of things that I will write down in the email to you. So again, winners from live, winners from the past, make sure that you reach out to me. I'm just going to scroll through, I'm looking at the wrong place here, hang on. Scrolling through comments. She picked them, there they are. And I got to scroll back, where are they? CJ and Ann McBride. Congratulations to you. You are the live winners during the YouTube portion of this. Make sure that you reach out to me at the email address that you see right there, stampyourartout@comcast.net, so you can claim your prizes. And yes, if you are following me on YouTube, thank you so much. Make sure that you like the video, give the thumbs up. Sharing is awesome. Thank you so much for that. Make sure that you're commenting. If you haven't commented yet, leave a comment. And then if you are following me on Facebook, make sure that you like my page. That helps me out. So click like on the page. You'll get notifications when you like and follow my social media platforms. If you're interested in any of these products today, you can shop from my website. You just go to stampyourartout.com, click the shop button. If you are a demonstrator, shop from yourself. And if you have your own demonstrator, shop from them, give them business. I love sharing what other people create with my customers. I try to bring in different ideas and share them in my business. You know, I think other demonstrators appreciate it too when you see things from other people, but you continue to shop from them. So support your demonstrator, give them lots of love. And I don't know if there's any more announcements. I think I announced it all. Retiring products again will go get announced at 2 p.m. Central Time, 1 p.m. Mountain Time. And so in a couple hours, check that out. That will include the outgoing ink colors. If you don't have re-inkers for your ink pads, grab those up. I know that Misty Moonlight right now is not available, and I'm not sure if they're going to replenish it, but grab those in color products up. Also, with in colors, some things in this mini catalog include some of the outgoing in colors. And like last year, my assumption is that they're just going to let these things continue on, right? They're not going to retire any of this early. So if there's something in here that has Misty Moonlight in it or has Cinnamon Cider in it, the inks, the papers, re-inkers, markers, those things are going to be leaving, at least according to past patterns here. They're going to be leaving. And so then you'll want to have those things if you want to use them with any of the products that will have those colors that are still left behind, if that makes sense. Anything else that I want to mention? Sorry, I have the list here, and I want to make sure I don't miss anything because it's an important day today. A big thank you to those of you who commented on my lives and after lives last week on the congratulations. I went to Utah and it was an amazing experience. So thank you for all of that. Put a big smile on my face. That's it. I said it all. So on that note, I'm going to let you all go. We are going to be live again next week. Kayla will be my moderator on YouTube. And what day is that going to be? Oh, here it is. I lost my notes. I'll be live on YouTube next week. That's March 30th. That's the last week of March, you guys. Time flies when you're an adult. I'm going to let you go now. But thank you, everybody. I appreciate you joining in. Take care, and we will see you next week. Now I'd like you all to go and stamp your art out. Bye-bye.